Hello. What I'm going to tell you about is that I had a great possibility in the June of this year to participate in the festival in London and the plenarium organized within the framework of this architecture festival. How this plenarium was organized, there were 10 countries from different continents invited. There were architects invited, and in London there were 10 teams created. There was a pair of architects, for example, one local architect and one foreign architect. And we worked in London for almost 2 weeks, and we worked on particular themes. The festival is a very large-scale event. Since 2004, annually, for a month, it happens in London. And it presents quite a broad spectrum of events, offering exhibitions, fairs, involving students. And what is also important is that architects every year look back on the tendencies, topicalities of architecture, of urban development. And also today's event is, I would say, equal to this London festival, and it is very important to Riga. And in addition to that, in festival, there are a lot of events involving public, providing excursions, tours, velo tours, involving families, attracting families. So they are annually introducing society with what is happening in the sector, in the architecture. And that is very important, and I would say we are doing the same today. And what resulted from this festival was recognition from architects, and we say we cannot work anymore with self-sufficient urban plans trying to plan society, because our days world is changing, society is changing, towns and cities are changing, so we can't just work like that anymore. We have to create open strategies offering diverse possibilities of development scenarios. The next second cognition is that we have actively work on what is happening right now. We can't plan only future. We have to look at what is happening today in urban development in cities and towns, because this is a moment when we can directly affect the processes, affect the process direction movement. And this festival in London is the trial every day, every year to effect that process. And plenarium was more practical way, and where we, by the way of projects, tried to look at urban development and to influence that somehow. This plenarium was quite effective method, I would say. And what is determining this method is that all those 10 architects were from absolutely different places than London. They came to unknown place to them. They worked in absolutely new and strange team, and the theory also was not studied a lot. We didn't have elaborated researches and studies. So it was like work with short time, place, experience without clearly defined aim. And that was valuable as well, because the aim was to bring the outsider opinion concerning the local problems. and to look at the same time at the particular place and to offer for that place the most essential solution. More specifically, we worked on this territory that is Poplar, Eastern London district, that red spot on the map, and you see where the center of London, that is the green one, the gray one, and so we had this territory which is on the threshold of rapid development. Currently in London they have housing crisis, so the number of their inhabitants is increasing. They are lacking flats, apartments, houses, so they are developing and constructing new houses. And right now, for example, they have planned for 230 new skyscrapers to be built. This place is sort of disconnected from the London itself, and therefore London wanted us to look at this place while we can see the first result from the new development, but it's not completed yet, and we have a lot of possibilities to influence that or to say our opinion. I worked together with London company Dell and Martin Architects. Our task was the channel that is located in this territory. Every team had one of the 5 themes, and that is city centers, environment, nature, parks, and had their special locations. So we had this channel of London, Limehouse Cat, and the theme for us was culture. And our working method was that we went to the place, we went to the site, looked at a particular situation. This channel historically was used for industrial needs, for transporting of cargoes, but it's not used anymore, even though it has quite a potential to become a culture place in the territory. These dark spots, dark buildings, what you see, these are those new living projects that start to appear next to the channel, very close actually to the channel. And it is quite sad because they do not successfully cooperate with the channels. They do not value that they have this recreative space next to them. They have this open space, waters, and that is a quality of itself. Those new buildings sort of has turned their back to the channel, to the coast of the channel, the back facades. What you see in the next slides is that the channel is not used, it's not recognized in the town. Industrial heritage is still there. You see a lot of fences. It's very difficult to access the canal. There are those invisible buildings, invisible fences. So people even don't know that the channel exists there. Another feature which is typical is that the water space is quite wide, but the land space is rather narrow where people can meet. You can see some random runner, jogger, biker, but not people gatherings there. And that is strange because in London people quite actively use water. There are some communities living on the water, but in this particular channel, no. As a qualitative feature, we saw the peaceful atmosphere which is there, and it's in contradiction to this eastern region of London because there is main highway and quite a big noise. But when you come to this place, it's like a shelter from the city noise. When we started to work on this project, our team thought that we had a quite short period of time for working, so it was only 7 days, and it was clear that we would not be able to offer new spatial changes or functions or new buildings. So we decided to offer some kind of strategies that would allow in the future this place to develop in the needed direction. So we were not going to define how this channel should be. And we started with raising awareness of this channel. Very often architects work with some spatial establishments and creating story, but we decided that we can have this spatial story without direct interference. And so the idea was is that the channel in the city is in a very low level. It's lower than the streets and buildings. It's invisible. So we could conceptually raise it up. So we offer for this place new event, like a parade of the channel. So annually it could engage local schools, local communities, or other initiatives to create such an event, creating some flying objects like balloons or boats, and so placed along the whole trajectory of the channel. So the idea is also to involve society and to facilitate it to create new image of this channel, a new quality, to find out this unassessed value. By engagement of the society, we can create more interest and more responsibility without any pressure, actually, and without any spatial vision or function of this place. Another part of our project consisted from small spatial objects. So another idea was that this channel should be used also daily, and for that some small impulses were needed. We offered 3 objects that could be bridge, island, and open air theater. And those red spots are the possible places of locations. At the same time, they are not connected to the particular place. You can place them where you need from functional or economical considerations. So the first object, that is bridge, which cooperates with crossings in the city. It opens the view to the channel, offers easy access to the channel, and the idea is that when you are in the channel or at the channel, you are not isolated from the rest. Another idea is this island. That could be some floating structures directly working with the quality of the channel, that is water movement. These platforms could be used for a lot of functions. It could be like a square of a channel where people meet. It could be cafe or a beach or meeting place, because of its floating, then again this object may be located where it's needed. And the third element was so-called open-air theater, located at the one bench of the channel, facilitating the link, indirect link with one coast and another, creating interest, actually. And in places where industrial heritage is maintained, it could again create link with them, and some open air fairs, exhibitions, concerts could take place there. All those objects are planned in the way that they can act separately or as a united ensemble. For example, in the open air theater, there is a concert going on, and on this floating island, people are gathering. So the main conception was that we worked with ideas and offered spatial possibilities for inhabitants to use, like leaving this choice open for local communities, local inhabitants, allowing them to determine the development of this channel and future scenario. And in the end of this workshop or plenarum, we had the presentations, or the day when we created sort of workshops, and that happened in this territory, Poplar. That is Balfron Tower, which is located in Poplar territory. We lived there for those 2 weeks, and the idea was that on the last day we also told a bit about our projects, and we also involved society somehow. And our idea was to create a small event from our plan, that is creating those balloons, blowing them and letting them fly in the air. And I'll say that's very successful element, attracting big part of society, because people seeing those balloons, they are immediately coming and trying to find out what's going on. And we had the possibilities and to tell them about our vision and to get their feedback. So this was a real possibility to communicate with the society and to sort of develop a small pilot scenario, I would say. Thank you. That's all from my side.